Okay. Anyhow. Okay, so, had to interrupt that last video. This is easy to solve, so I'm just gonna put an et cetera here. You know how to solve that. No point in taking class time to show you something everybody knows how to do. You understand that this is easy. This needs to be made easy. Okay, well, now we have another problem of this nature, which would be probably the same thing, except we got different layers. Okay, so we're gonna have 4 over x minus 2 plus, in my case it would be 5 equals 6 over x minus 4. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply by the common denominator. So we got x minus 2 times x minus 4 multiplied by 4 over x minus 2 plus 5 equals x minus 2 times x minus 4 times 6 over x minus 4. Now you can see that when I multiply through by x minus 2 times x minus 4, I'm going to be able to match up an x minus 2 in the numerator and an x minus 2 in the denominator, right? And similarly, over here, I'm going to be able to match up an x minus 4 in the numerator and an x minus 4 in the denominator. So I'm going to kind of skip that step this time. You just use an ellipsis, 3 little dots. But first, I'm going to carefully do the distributive law. Okay, so I multiplied this by this, but I've got to multiply this by this. And people will overlook this. They'll just put down plus 5. It's not going to be right. Okay? And your solution won't check, and you should always be checking your solution so you know when you've done something wrong and you go back and fix it. If you're not doing that, you're not going to learn it very well. Okay? Anyhow, that's going to be, and we don't have any fractions involved with multiplying this by 5. Okay? Then over here, we'll just write it down again. Okay? Now, we could group these together, same way we did here. I'm just going to put dots here. Indicate there's a step that you need to write in. It's just like the step we had over here. Numbers are a little different. But you get 4 times x minus 4 plus 5 times x minus 2 times x minus 4 equals, just plain old 6 times x minus 2. Okay? And now, voila, no more denominators. Happy, happy. Not that happy though, because we've got a little work to do, okay? Well, this is 4x minus 16. X minus 2 times x minus 4. Now I'm going to do that over here. What's that equal? Now you can do superstition and you can do stuff like this and this, which is not quite superstition, okay? But it comes down to the distributive law, and I advocate that you understand the distributive law. The distributive law says that's x times x minus 4 minus 2 times x minus 4. Because x minus 2 times whatever is x times whatever minus 2 times whatever. You're familiar with that, okay? You don't need these little lines here. Although if you absolutely have to use them, I'm kind of okay with it, but not really, okay? Now we use the same law. This is x times x minus 4 times x. I'm taking a few liberties right here, but there it is. And this is x squared minus 4x minus 2x is minus 6x plus 8. Okay? So by the distributive law, we're going to have 5 times x squared minus 6x plus 8. Now the reason I use the distributive law here, because this thing here works perfectly well, but if you're multiplying trinomials, bigger expressions, it gets a little more complicated, okay? Anyhow, we're going to get 6x minus 12 over here. Okay? Now we simplify, okay? So we've got 4x here. Well, let's go ahead and use the distributive law once more. 5 times x squared is 5x squared minus 30x plus 40 equals 6x minus 12. Okay? Now we subtract 6x minus 12 from both sides. And the reason we do that is now we have 0 over here. Now why would we do that? It's because we recognize we're going to have an x squared here, and this is going to be a quadratic equation. And to do a quadratic equation, you've got to have a quadratic expression of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay? It's got to be equal to 0. Then we do the rest of the arithmetic. You've got to distribute that negative sign, and you've got to be careful. But on x's, we're going to have 4 of them. And then negative 30, which is negative 26, and then minus 6, which is minus 32. So I think we get negative 32x. Now we're going to have 5x squared. There's only one x squared term here. And then our numbers are going to be negative 16 plus 40, which gives us 24, and then plus 12, which gives us 36. Okay? Then here's our quadratic equation. We identify it as a quadratic equation with a equal 5, b equal negative 2, 32, and c equals 36. And we plug in and simplify. I don't need to show you how to do that. You just do the homework. If you're not doing it right, you'll know you have to fix it. Okay? But plugging in and simplifying is the easy part. You're just dealing with numbers at that point, and you just make sure you do them right. And if you're not doing them right, send me a picture of what you're doing, bring it to class, show me what's going on here. You'll say, oh, you kind of forgot to multiply that AC by 4 or whatever, or you got the sign wrong. Okay? That's why you didn't get the right answer. Okay, but it's easy to use the quadratic formula. Factoring's a little harder, completing the squares even a little harder. Okay? But usually you're going to use the quadratic formula, and that'll get you through most of it. Okay, very good.